I'll show you how to make any nut or seed butter. Please remember all the tips that I'm gonna say in this video. So many tips I learned over the past 10 years. The first step is to roast our nuts or seed. Roasting helps both two things. First, in deepening the flavors, so the flavors become nicer, intensified. Second, it releases the natural oils of the nut or seed, so makes blending easier for our food processor or blender. The third thing we need to remember is some nuts or seeds, like, for example, peanut butter or hazelnut butter, we need to remove the skin. They are the two things that I normally remove the skin in order to get rid of any gritty, grainy texture. If we leave it on, we're gonna get gritty texture, which is unpleasant. So these are the two things that I normally remove the skin. And I remove the skin like you saw, rubbing the nuts in between paper towel. The fourth thing we need to remember is some nuts have higher fat content, like this one. This cashew nut butter is very easy to make because it has a lot of oils. So then the blending takes only a few minutes. The fifth thing we have to remember is to give our food processor or blender breaks in between. What might look like took a minute here, it took actually in reality up to 20 minutes, some of them. So that's why extremely important to give our blender or food processor between blends a little break so it doesn't heat up and break down. This is sunflower pumpkin seed butter, and again the process is the same. If you prefer not to roast, that is fine, but you have to remember to give your food processor a break in between, and also the texture might not get very smooth. Now this is walnut butter, same, we're gonna roast them, and the amount of roasting depends on your oven setting, but normally for me it takes 4 to 5 minutes at about 160 degrees Celsius. Some nuts burn quicker than others, so please keep an eye on them and check them every couple minutes. This is Brazil nut butter. And so the process is exactly the same for all of these you've seen. I roast them for a few minutes, 160 degrees Celsius, and then add them to the food processor, blend them, giving my blender break in between. Some of these butters naturally solidify or become harder when they exposed to colder temperature, and that's completely natural. This is hemp seed butters, the only one I did not roast because hemp seeds are very soft. And if you wanted to make high protein hemp milk, you just mix this with water. This is sesame seed butter, also known as tahini. All you need is to toast the seeds, and then when you toast the seeds, you're gonna process them in the blender in order to get the smoothie texture. Finally, this is sunflower butter. There we have it. The full guide is on my blog. If you're interested to learn more about this, I have every single nut butter and seed butter, alphafoodie.com. There we have it. If you have any questions, please, I'll try to answer as many as possible in the comments below.